Hello everybody, named Jalise. Welcome now everybody to my top 10 Uncharted missions. This is from all the Uncharted games from Uncharted 1 to Lost Legacy, and I'm giving you my personal top 10 missions of Uncharted that are my absolute favorite that I will always go back to replay because they were just so damn good. But let's start off with an honorable mention, and this will be the only honorable mention. This will be from Uncharted 1, Chapter 17, The Heart of the Vault. What happens here? Elena and Nathan are in the catacombs. As soon as Elena's out of harm's way, Nathan is surrounded by some Gollum Smeagol looking Lord of the Rings motherfuckers. And him and Eddie Raj are surrounded. And they have to, at the end of the day, basically it's a shootout against all these creatures, these mutant hybrids, these mutant humanoid hybrids, all come after them. They look like they're from the creatures from The Descent. It's basically that creepy, and overall it was a fun mission. I overall enjoyed every single aspect of that mission, and the fact is this is the end of Eddie Raja. It's just utterly fantastic. So yes, honorable mention is Uncharted 1, Chapter 17, The Heart of the Vault. And let's start off with number 10. Number 10 is in Uncharted Lost Legacy, Chapter 9, The End of the Line. This is the last mission of Uncharted Lost Legacy. Asav, the main villain of the story, has put a bomb on a train headed to a populated area in India, and Chloe must now, with Nadine, with Sam, must stop this bomb from going off on this train and to basically save a whole bunch of people. Chloe becomes the hero at the end, and this is such a welcome change of character, how she was in Uncharted 2, how she didn't want to get involved, how she didn't want to be the hero of the story, but throughout Lost Legacy, this was a fitting end to her entire journey of to save her homeland from a madman named Asav. So overall, they had everything you wanted in an entire ending of Uncharted. You have a train fight scene, you got the villain at the end, fisticuffs, a bomb is going off, you gotta get off the train at any moment, and arguably, this is one of the better endings. If you would tell me that this is the best ending of all the Uncharted games, I would not disagree. It's just that damn good, but it's overall not my favorite. It's not my number one favorite. It's one of my favorites, but it's not the favorite. So Uncharted Lost Legacy, Chapter 9, The End of the Line is number 10. Number 9, I'm going to give to, again, Uncharted Lost Legacy, Chapter 4, The Western Gate. Now, here's the thing. This is the longest, and I do mean the longest chapter of the Uncharted Lost Legacy. This could have been split into 3 chapters. But the Western Gate, what I liked about it? Well, Chloe and Nadine, they find a big tower, and they have to open up the gateway to the new ancient city. The thing is, though, they have 3 different towers they have to go to, 3 systems of puzzles they have to work out, and ultimately, at the end of the day, they have to make sure the water system is used in order to open the sealed gateway. And overall, this just really progresses Nadine's and Chloe's relationship. They really have a good friendship, a sisterhood with each other. And I really enjoyed the Western Gate. Overall, it was a long chapter, but the location was beautiful. The areas were fantastic. Some of the puzzles were nice. There's a lot of collectibles you could get throughout this entire chapter. It's the longest chapter of the Uncharted series, in my opinion. And to me, I enjoyed every single minute of it. Uncharted Lost Legacy Chapter 4, The Western Gate is number 9. Number 8, I'm going to give to Uncharted 3. This is a combination of 2 chapters because basically they go to the same area and they do not change. So I'm going to give this chapter to Chapter 6, The Chateau, and Chapter 7, Stay in the Light. In this one, Nathan and Sully are now in France. They're in Paris, France, and they're in a Templar castle / chateau, and they have to infiltrate the place. They have to decipher the puzzles, and they have to escape the burning fire that they have not put themselves in, but how they got into trouble with. So overall, it's just a very classic Uncharted Indiana Jones type missions. It's a beautiful location in Paris, France. It's an ancient place, a former Templar hideout. And again, there's puzzles, there's escaping, flesh-eating freaking insects. Kind of reminds me of the Mummy in some cases. And overall, it's just a very fun, great, Uncharted dang world. And I loved it. Uncharted 3 is number 8 for the Chateau, and Chapter 7 for Chapter 6 and Chapter 7, the Chateau, and Stay in the Light. Number 7 I'm going to give to another combination is Chapter 19, The Siege, and Chapter 20, Cat and Mouse. The village that you, Nathan Drake, has taken refuge in is now being under attack by Lazarevich's men. Lazarevich is in the village. He's destroying the village, and you're trying to protect all the people who live there. And you're in the first chapter is just the siege. Chapter 19 is the siege, and chapter 20 is basically you're being chased down by a big dang vehicle. It's a freaking tank that you ultimately have to destroy, and it's such a fun, action-packed chapter, and you're gonna love it. So Uncharted 2, Chapter 19, The Siege, Chapter 20, Cat and Mouse, is number 7 on my list. Number 6, I'm gonna give to Uncharted 4, Chapter 6, Once a Thief, Lights Out. What happens in this? Oh, well, Nathan and Sam infiltrate auction palace in Italy. They're trying to steal the famous cross with Sully's help. And it's just a nice introduction to see a reintroduction of Sully's character. We see Rafe again. We meet Nadine. We fight against Nadine. And also this chapter includes them escaping the auction place. It's just a fun, good time. And I absolutely adore this chapter of Uncharted. Uncharted 4 had many nice chapters and all stuff, but there's something so simple about infiltrating a place and trying to steal some objects. It's just old school classic fun, and I absolutely adored it. So Uncharted 4, Chapter 6, Once a Thief, and Chapter 7, Lights Out, is number 6 on my list. Number 5, I'm going to give to Uncharted Lost Legacy, and this chapter is called Lost Legacy, and this is Chapter 7 of that game. The ancient kingdom is revealed at the end of the day. Chloe and Nadine infiltrate this place. They look throughout. There's puzzles. There's revelations about Chloe's father's disappearance. This is such a beautiful, beautiful map, a beautiful mission. It's just really, it reveals a lot. Ultimately, at the end of the day, Chloe finds the city that she wanted to find for so long, that her father spent years of his life, even though he neglected his own family, spent years of his life trying to find the city. And the fact is that she found out her father once found this place, but chose to keep it a secret. Really says a lot about Chloe's father, and it really shows about what Chloe, it gets a lot of emotional grip to Chloe's character. And also we have the reunion with Sam Drake, who with freaking Asav, he does not like either of them. And it's also, we get the discovery of the horn, of the MacGuffin that these characters want. So overall, Lost Legacy, Chapter 7, The Lost Legacy, is number 5 on my list. And it was a fun, good time with this. And it's just a lot of emotional grit to this entire dang mission of Uncharted. Number 4, I'm going to give to Uncharted 3, Chapter 14, Cruising for a Bruising, and Chapter 15, Sink or Swim. Basically, you're on a modern-day pirate ship yacht. Nate is trying to escape it. And during this entire time, while he's taking out one of these pirates, trying to take him along so he could get back to Sully and to go on his mission in Uncharted 3, he first has to escape a dang pirate ship that's a yacht. He has to maneuver around it. Then it doesn't help the fact is that this yacht's going overboard, and the fact is the yacht's going underneath water, and it's a flooding area, and pirates are still trying to kill you. Makes one of the most fantastic, and I mean one of the most fantastic Uncharted missions you will get. But that's my personal opinion, everybody. For number 4 is Uncharted 3, Chapter 14, Cruising for a Bruising, and Chapter 15, Sink or Swim. This is the best Uncharted mission of Uncharted 3 by far. Number 3, I'm going to give to Uncharted 2. The Uncharted 2 chapter is going to be Chapter 26, The Tree of Life. This is the end of the entire game. Lazarevich is drinking from the Tree of Life. He's trying to become immortal. He's trying to get the ultimate power source of everything. At the end of the day, Lazarevich goes out the way, kind of like how the District 9 main villain was killed off. Basically, the Guardians of Shambhala do not take kindly to Lazarevich's intrusion and decide to rip him apart, tear him to shreds, which is oh so lovely. And at the end of the day, since it's the last mission of the entire video game, Nathan chooses Elena over Chloe. He realizes he loves Elena more, and ultimately at the end of the day, they have some nice going back and forth between them. They look at the sunset together at the village that they protected, and overall, it's a very satisfying conclusion to an overall fantastic game. So Uncharted 2, Chapter 26, The Tree of Life was a fantastic, if not the best conclusion to a series. I say the only one that competed against it will be my number 10 spot, which was Uncharted Lost Legacy's final mission. Overall, Uncharted 2's final mission, The Tree of Life, was fantastic. So, number 3, Uncharted 2, Chapter 26, The Tree of Life. Number 2, I'm going to give to Uncharted 4, Chapter 11, Hidden in Plain Sight. This was such a great Uncharted Indiana Jones type thing mission. I loved it. Nathan and Sully are searching for a tower, and in this clock tower, they have to climb it. They have to climb certain aspects. They have to solve puzzles. Ultimately, at the end of the day, they have to reunite with Sam to go rescue him from mercenaries and from Rafi's people. And they lead to some great chases, from motorcycle chases to going over bridges. It's just absolutely fun, feel-good time. You had everything in this chapter. You had puzzles. You had to stay silent. You had to climb a tower. You had to go rescue somebody, and had a great action scene. It's overall a very, very well done chapter. A very well done mission, and Hidden in Plain Sight was easily, to me, the best part of Uncharted 4. And my number 1 spot will go to Uncharted 2, Chapter 13, Locomotion and Tunnel Vision. This was the first Uncharted game where we had a freaking train fight scene, and it was absolutely glorious. Elena got Nathan to go after Chloe to go and try to rescue her, and the thing is, though, for the first train fight scenes in all of Uncharted, it was fantastic. You're on the train, you're trying to get to Chloe and all that. You're trying to evade all the mercenaries, the cars, the helicopters that are coming right after you. It's just a rush. It's a straight action-packed, great, fun, feel-good time. I loved Uncharted 2. It's Locomotion, Chapter 14, Tunnel Vision. It was just a great, fun chapter. And it's absolutely my favorite chapter of all the Uncharted games, or one of my favorite missions of all the Uncharted games. So what's your personal opinion, everybody? What's your personal favorite mission of Uncharted? Is there something that I'm leaving out? Is there one personal one that you just like, man, this mission just gripped me? It was the ultimate drill, right? I wanted to go back to it. Or you are more into stealth missions? What's your personal opinion, everybody? My name's Elise. For everybody. Bye.